All right, let's be honest for a second. If you've ever tried to read the book of Genesis all the way through, you know exactly what happens. You're cruising along with these incredible stories about Jacob, and then, bam, you hit chapter 36, and it's just a wall of names, right? This long, dense genealogy. Most of us, our eyes glaze over, we skim it, or maybe we just skip it altogether. It feels like ancient bookkeeping. But what if it's not?
What if this chapter, the one everybody skips, is actually hiding one of the most powerful and important stories in the entire book? Well, that's what we're going to do. We are going to crack the code of Genesis 36 and uncover the incredible story that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
So yeah, on the surface, this chapter is a family tree. It's the genealogy of Jacob's brother Esau. But all that detail, all those names, they are there for a very, very specific reason. This is so much more than just a list of people who lived a long time ago.
You see, this chapter is the official send-off for Esau in the main story. It's basically documenting the founding of his people, the Edomites. It shows how God kept his promise to make Esau into a great nation too. It's like a final, respectful farewell before the camera zooms in completely on Jacob and his family. And this whole new chapter for Esau, it starts with a move. Now here's where it gets really interesting. You might think, after all the drama between these two brothers, that they separate because of another fight. But the actual reason they go their separate ways, well, it's the first major clue in this whole mystery. Just look at this. They didn't split up because of anger or jealousy. They separated because they were both too successful. They were so blessed, their flocks and herds were so massive that the land literally couldn't handle them both. This isn't a story of failure or rivalry. It's a story of overwhelming prosperity that forced them to find their own space. So Esau packs up and moves to the hill country of Seir. And the text makes a point to tell us, from now on, Esau is the nation of Edom. You remember that name, right? It means red, and it all goes back to that infamous bowl of red stew. And once he gets to his new land, he doesn't just settle down. He starts to build something big. The chapter carefully lays it all out for us, his wives, his sons, and all the clans that came from them. And this shows a really important contrast. Think about it. At this point, Jacob's family is still just that, a family. It's 12 sons, one household. But Esau's descendants, they've already exploded into this organized, structured society with powerful chiefs. He is building a nation, and it's happening fast.
And this brings us to the biggest and honestly, the most shocking clue in the whole chapter. Because the list doesn't just stop with a bunch of chiefs. It shows us just how quickly Esau's line established themselves as a real political power.
What you're seeing here is a list of actual kings, ruling from real cities. This isn't some nomadic tribe anymore. This is a monarchy, a functioning kingdom with a whole line of rulers. And then, after listing all this success, the author drops an absolute bombshell.
Just let that sink in for a moment. Before any king reigned over the Israelites. This is it. This is the whole point. Esau, the brother who sold his birthright for a bowl of soup, his descendants now have a kingdom. They have power, they have cities, they have kings, all while Jacob's descendants, the chosen line, are still centuries away from having a king of their own. In fact, they're about to become nomads and then slaves down in Egypt. The contrast is just stunning.
So, now that we see that tension, we can finally understand why this chapter is so incredibly important. It's not a boring list at all. It's a profound statement. For the Israelites who first heard this story, this chapter explains so much about who they were and their place in the world. Let's break it down. It really serves three main purposes. First, it shows God's promise was kept. He was faithful to make Esau a great nation, just like he said he would. Second, it builds the world. It establishes the political landscape and explains the origin of Israel's powerful neighbor, the kingdom of Edom. And third, it shifts the story. It's a formal goodbye to Esau's line so the narrative can focus completely on Jacob's family.
And all of that brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this supposedly boring chapter. It's really a powerful meditation on two completely different kinds of destinies, two very different paths to what the world calls greatness.
So here's the bottom line. Esau's path was one of immediate, tangible, worldly success. He used his own strength and savvy to build a kingdom, and he did it fast. Jacob's path, on the other hand, the path of the promise, was one of waiting, of struggle, and of faith. His descendants would have to endure centuries of hardship, of wandering, of slavery, before their promised kingdom would finally arrive. It forces us, both then and now, to look beyond what seems successful in the moment. That chapter everyone skips is actually a masterclass in storytelling. It's contrasting the kingdom of man, built quickly by human hands, with the kingdom of God, which is built slowly, often through struggle.
And in the end, it leaves us with this huge, provocative question that really echoes through the rest of the entire story. A question about what we value and what true blessing really looks like. What's more valuable, a kingdom you can see and touch right now, or the promise of a kingdom that is still to come?